So hi guys, really quick, I'm getting ready to go to my PreSheet Rock meeting with my builder. So I'm in my car right now instead of at home where I normally film. So I'm excited to see what's going on. I just talked to my realtor. He was unable to go with me, so I'm hoping that the meeting goes smoothly without the presence of someone else as compared to the last time. But I am very prayerful about this. Excited to see like what this meeting is all about. So I definitely will give you guys an update after this meeting. I probably will do it right after the meeting so I don't forget anything. And so until then, stay tuned and have an awesome day. So hi guys, I hope that you are okay. I am in my car right now. I just finished my PreSheet Rock meeting with my builder, and so I wanted to kind of stop right after the meeting and film so that it could be fresh on my mind and I wouldn't forget anything because I know my memory is shot sometimes. So I got to the house, he was waiting, we walked in. And the first thing that we did was he showed me basically where all of the lights were in the ceilings. And so he was like, this is where your kitchen lights will be. You have 3 here. This is where your lighting will be in your living room. He also showed me which switches on the wall will control which lights. And we just kind of did that for the front space. He did share with me where my foyer light would be. Also have a light outside on my porch area. After that, we kind of walked to the kitchen again, and he was sharing with me, like, just like, okay, I want you to visualize this will be where your cabinetry is. Imagine fridge, range, and your cabinetry and your can't think of the name right now, y'all, it's early, I'm sorry. Your cabinetry on this side and your cabinetry on the opposite side. And so we walked through that. We then went to my dining area, and he was sharing like, this is the light for the dining area. He talked to me while we were back there about the concrete that would be poured, and he was just saying that it's going to be this many feet by this many feet. And I was like not understanding because I'm a visual person. So basically I was like, so will it go to the end of the house? Like when you pour it, will it figure out to the end? And he was like, no. And so I said, well, that's what I needed to do. So if, I don't know how much it costs. And so he said that really wouldn't be but a few feet additionally rather, to where they're pouring. So he's just going to go ahead and pour it. Which is fine, but I still might reach out to the design center just to make sure they have it on record, because see, by just sharing it with me now, if I get to the house and it's not poured and I wanted it poured, I have no record of it. So even though I know it may be saving me a couple $100 if he remembers, I just rather be safe than sorry. So yeah, we talked about the concrete. After that, we started moving to the bedrooms. Did the same thing for the bedroom, showed me where the lighting would be in my son's bedroom, the spare bedroom, and mine. Now that I think about it, we didn't go into the master bathroom to look at that lighting, but I've been there, so I've seen in the walls what that looks like. So it was pretty standard. He then asked me, had they called me for my low voltage walk, which is what I alluded to in one of my previous videos. And in the low voltage walk is where we're supposed to actually place where all of the cable and phone cords will be installed. And so I told him no. So he went out to his truck and got his phone to call and, just kind of confirmed that he had sent the information over to him. And they were like, we somehow didn't get it. So I'm in line now for a phone call because I think they also do the security system. So yeah, I'll be just looking out for their call. But he and I were able to do the low voltage walk and do the placement of my cable cords and my phone cords. And I just really just kind of had to trust his lead on that, because aside from just knowing that my television would be above the fireplace, I didn't have a placement for anything else. And so that part is pretty standard. He did share with me where my washer and dryer would be. And I asked him, I was like, does it fit like a standard washer dryer? He was like, yes. I asked him, would it be like any shelving in there or some sort of cabinetry? And he said no. Unfortunately, Regency doesn't do either anymore. So they don't do the cabinets in there, which I don't think I was told cabinetry, but I at least expected like a shelf. So I've been Googling and just looking at places where I can go and get some floating shelves, because I have 1, 2, now 3 areas where I will need to install floating shelves just for storage. And so I'll definitely need to go back to the house to take pictures of those spaces, so I'll know where the studs are and kind of where, I would need to install or how to install those to make sure I don't put any unnecessary holes in my wall. So yeah, did that. Everything else was as expected. I will say that the tone of this meeting, because my realtor was not able to meet with me as he promised, he had another meeting, so I'm going to call him and debrief with him. But the tone of this meeting compared to the first one was much, much better, like much better. So I was very pleased about that. I don't know if you've seen my first video when I talked about that, but it was one of those things where, yeah, it was a little bit concerning, to say the least. So tone was much better. He was very apologetic about like the delays that had occurred, since our last meeting. He was asking me, was I one of those people who had to change brick color? And I was like, no, thankfully my brick was installed and things like that properly. Again, he shared with me that I have a simple home. So the next steps for me are insulation after they do the wiring for the phone and the cable. After insulation is drywall. After drywall is when the cabinetry, the flooring, and all that goes through. So he was going through those steps with me and basically saying that I think that he can't install cabinetry before flooring, or flooring before cabinetry, one of those things. He did share with me that there were some hiccups in the supply chain because of just what's going on with our industry right now. Like if anybody has watched the local news, like the supply chain industry is impacted by the labor shortage and by the increase of costs. So he said that at worst case scenario, my cabinets might be delayed, but sheetrock is on deck. He's going to get a crew out in a couple weeks to do insulation. So those are things that he know will get done. He basically said, I'm going to work until I can't work anymore. So I'm going to work and do everything I can. And if I get to a point where they said we're waiting on something, then we're just kind of waiting. So I appreciate the honesty. Unfortunately, I was not able to get any sort of date regarding closing, or we might close, just because of those variables that exist. He said that once the sheetrock is up and he finds out like where we are in the cabinetry process, then he'll be able to give me more of a date for closing. And so, yeah, that was about it with the meeting. We walked outside. He shared with me where my primary power outlet was and my secondary one in my garage. He also said that by the time I come back, hopefully he'll go ahead and get the concrete poured for my driveway, so I wouldn't have to walk through the mud, because it's rainy out here, so it's very muddy. And I was like, cool, that's a plus. So yeah, I think my next steps are to go back to the house, hopefully this weekend if it doesn't rain too hard and make it really muddy, and just take pictures and maybe a little video footage of things that he placed, because while we were there, he was putting spray paint and writing like cable cord, this cord, that cord, so that I'll know, especially when the people come out to install, like where everything is. And so that's really important for me to do that before they close any walls up. I think that's about it. Now I'm just kind of reflecting. Again, compared to the first meeting, this meeting was much, much better. So I'm excited, a little bit not disappointed, but I just really wanted to know a little bit more about closing. But again, he says it's down here from here, so that's a good thing. I don't know what downhill looks like, but I'm hoping maybe January, February we can get in. I was hoping December, but looks like definitely January, and if not February at the latest. But the work looks good. He seemed really sincere and genuine, and just showing me everything and walking me through. He answered questions that I had, didn't seem to be annoyed by any of those. And I was asking questions like, So I don't know, like, where's the best place to put a socket? What do you think? And he was really helpful. So overall, I am pleased and excited. I'm about to head back to work because I just kind of asked my boss if I can come in late today. But again, I just want to film this while it was fresh on my mind. So have a good day, guys, wherever you are. Thank you for listening. And until next time.